Well, INEC said the petition is about 29,000 short of constitutional requirement. Now that Senator Natasha has given the Electoral Commission credit for doing its due diligence, but other people have also criticized her initial hasty condemnation of the Electoral Commission, accusing them of colluding with those influencing her recall.
As of today, INEC has a history of taking side with the government of the day.
Can you prove that?
There's so many instances out there where INEC have been accused. People were you not aware where in the case of Binani and Fintiri?
How did INEC take stand? INEC suspended its rec.
After the cry across the world,
let me put that.
Representative there, as a time who took action on behalf of INEC
and
post-action that happened afterward as a result of the feedback they got from the society. What you saw yesterday is what INEC did is commendable, yeah?
Good.
But it will not closing our eyes to, we made it a statement before that if Nigeria is where the system works perfectly or near perfect, Senator Natasha does not even need to worry herself over anything, because we have had senators, we have had government representatives. But in her own case, Senator Natasha has brought ingredients of good governance to us, which as consequence, we sought to be elusive, utopia.
I'd like you to hold your thoughts because we need to speak to Sandra Musa, who is on Zoom right now. Madam Musa, can you hear me? Your senator finally returned to... All right. Your senator finally returned to her constituency to talk to her people, and you saw the rousing reception she got. Has your views changed now that the need for her recall, or would you support her at this time?
Thank you very much. Of course, my senator, or the senator of Kogi Central, came back home, and her people welcomed her. You would agree with me that even if you're my neighbor, there are some persons who definitely love you and be around you when you come home. And so, like we all saw, the meeting was in her compound, and we have 5 local governments in Central, and we're talking about across Ajakuta, Davi, Okene, Okehi, and Mogori. But her people or her acquaintance came to see her in her compound when she arrived. That hasn't changed my mind in any way, because what we are after at this moment and what we're discussing is good governance. And I beg to differ from what my brother was saying in the studio. You see, if we are to talk about the relative peace that Kogi Central enjoys today, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yaya Adoza Bello, it's a major player. And so you can't be saying that he's into disrupting the peace of the people. He's somebody who had done a whole lot. And if you look back into the history of Kogi Central as a constituent, it was when he came that our people could now sleep with their 2 eyes opened. And then we had activities booming back in Okene. I would beg to say that he revived Okene. And as much as we go around saying things about people, let's not always run away from their positive side and the things they have done to make our people better off today. And that is why we even have a constituency in the first place. His love for my gender is one of the reasons why we have lots of women in the Central today being part of politics. In the past times, anyone from Central knows that it's going to be very difficult for a woman to even want to vouch for councillor. But today you have lots of women that are already in politics because he brought that level ground play for us. And as we all know, it's a work in progress. Now, having to do with the issue on ground, it's something that we're standing by. It's something that we believe that once the level of compliance that we need to give is made available, the process itself will continue. And I must say that kudos to INEC. INEC being a single body, being able to verify that we already have over 208,000 votes, signatures verified. It tells that, as they promised Nigerians, that it's going to be a fair and transparent process. It is already being seen. If you know, there were lots of narrative that will hardly even have up to 100,000 votes or so being verified. And today, thank God where we are. That's over 50% of what is expected that has been submitted. And I'm sure that in no distant time, we'll all be where we want to be.
Okay, Madam Musa, are you saying that with the statement from INEC putting an end to this recall process that you want to reactivate the process again?
Well, what I know very well was INEC said that it was inadequate. Doesn't mean that the process had been put on a halt. And so we are believing that once we are able to meet up with the level of compliance that they need for it to be adequate, the process will definitely take its course.
Well, some people say the crowd that turned out at the reception held in her compound to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr is an indication that the signatures for her recall were forged and did not represent the wishes of the people.
Thank you very much. The people in her compound, are they up to 5,000? And what we have from INEC, being an independent body, had already made us understand that over 208,000 signatures has been verified. So I'll leave that to the public to judge.
Okay, let me also
go. Of course, it's politics, and you expect people to drive different narratives, to sell out their points, and to also make themselves be top of the game.